Okay, everybody. We're going to start today's class laying on our backs. So come to laying on your back on your mat. You can get yourself comfortable however you'd like, bringing the feet together and allowing the knees to fall open to the sides, or you can have your legs straight or knees bent, knees leaning together if that's more comfortable for you. And just come to relaxing on the mat. I'm going to turn my AC off so that it doesn't interfere. Just allow yourself to begin to relax, sinking down into the mat, placing the right hand over the belly and the left hand over the heart. Soften the gaze or allow the eyes to fall closed gently. Beginning to be present here in your body on the mat. Natural breath. If anything floats into your mind from earlier in the day or plans for later, just allow that thought to float right back out. Focus on the breath. Take a deep inhale, filling up through the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And exhaling fully from the chest to the ribs, to the belly. Another breath like this. Inhaling deeply through the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And exhaling completely from the chest to the ribs, to the belly. Another deep breath, filling up the belly, the ribs, and the chest, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and release fully with an audible breath. Filling up through the belly, the ribs, and the chest, and holding for 3, 2, 1, and allow that breath to release fully. Audible breath. Return to natural breathing here, just feeling the heartbeat and the natural rise and fall of the belly. On an inhale, bringing the knees together if you have them open, and slowly rolling onto your side and making your way up to a tabletop position at your own pace. So we'll come to tabletop position, hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips, neck and spine is long, back is flat. On an inhale, we'll drop the chest, drop the belly, gaze upward for cow. Exhaling, tilt the tailbone down, push into the mat, arch the back, and allow the head to hang for cat. Inhaling, drop the belly, head up, cow. Exhaling, tilt the tailbone down, push into the mat, drop the head for cat. Now let's repeat this 3 more times. Just breath to movement, inhaling, and exhaling. Pushing into the mat, really allowing the back to move upward toward the ceiling. Leading with the pelvis. Inhaling, chest forward, cow. Exhaling, cat. Add in any motions that you need to just warm up the spine right now. 1 more round. Inhaling. And exhaling. Begin to press the hips back towards the heels, pressing the hands, fingertips into the mat. Tuck the toes, and begin to press your hips up and back for your first downward facing dog of the evening. You can move around, shift from foot to foot, pedal it out a little bit. Pressing in the weight in all four corners of the hands, the heel of the hand, and the base of each finger, allowing the chest to move back towards the upper thighs, bending in the knees if you need to, whatever it takes to get that spine nice and long and relax that head. Breathe here for a couple more breaths, moving around, getting comfortable in your downward facing dog. On the next inhale, come into a plank pose, just to start warming up, firing up the core here a little bit. Shoulders over the hands, neck is long, gaze is forward. If this is too much, just bring your knees down, untuck your toes. As long as you're keeping that engagement in the core, keeping those shoulders over the hands, you're getting the benefits. Breathing here, holding in plank for one more breath. Really engaging. Inhale deep and exhale, hips up and back. Again for downward facing dog. Deep breath in and release it all. One more deep breath and release. Inhaling, coming back into a plank pose. Really aligning the shoulders over the hands, gripping the mat with fingers spread wide, engaging the legs, engaging the low belly, pressing away from the mat, pulling those feet towards the hands to really fire everything up. One more inhale, and exhale, hips up and back for downward facing dog. One deep breath here, and release. Inhaling, gaze comes between the thumbs, and exhaling, walk the 10 tiny little steps up, feet to meet the hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to allow the hands to brush the floor. And hang, let the spine decompress. Inhaling, bringing the head forward, chest forward for a flat back. Hands come to the outside of the calves. And exhaling, allow yourself to hang again. Keeping that bent knees is okay. On the next inhale, rolling all the way up. Head, neck is the last to come up. Inhaling, arms up, gaze up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Take this moment to make an intention for your practice today if you would like to. Maybe your intention is to just send a little bit of extra love to an older family member who might be alone at this strange time. Or maybe your intention is just to focus and stay present as you work through the poses here in today's class. On the next inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. And exhaling again to heart center and down by the sides. Let's just check in here in our Tadasana mountain pose. You can have your toes together and heels slightly apart, or you can stand with feet hips width apart. Just making sure that the outer edges of the feet are parallel. You're lifting the kneecaps up, engaging those quads, planting the feet, all four corners into the mat. The low belly is slightly engaged, allowing the hips to be neutral and level. Inhaling, allow the shoulders to come up towards the ears, and exhale, let them fall down the back. Palms open forward. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling, chin is slightly tucked. Tadasana. On the next inhale, arms rise, gaze up. Exhale and fold, bending the knees if you need to meet the hands to the mat. Inhaling, flat back, crown of the head forward, chest forward. Exhaling and fold again. We'll do 3 Surya A's or Sun Salutation A's. Planting the hands on the mat, bend the knees if you need to. Step back into a high plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Toes tucked, whole body in a straight line, head up. Inhaling here, exhaling, place the knees on the ground. If you're ready for a full Vinyasa Chaturanga, go for it. I know a lot of you guys probably are. Inhaling here and exhaling the chest to the mat. Inhaling slowly into a baby cobra pose, tops of the feet planted on the mat, legs engaged, chest forward, shoulders away from the ears. And exhaling up onto the knees, tuck the toes, hips up and back for a downward facing dog. We'll breathe here in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling, gaze forward. Exhaling, move the feet to the hands however you'd like to make your way up there, stepping slowly. Inhaling for a flat back, head up, chest forward. Exhaling to fold, bending the knees if you need to. And inhaling, rise all the way up, arms up. Exhaling, hands over heart center and down by the side. 2 more just like that, flowing. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhaling to fold. Take any modifications you need. Inhaling, flat back, chest forward. Exhaling, fold, planting the hands on either side of the feet. Step back, high plank. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Low plank. Inhaling, baby cobra or upward facing dog, or just the hands and tops of the feet are touching. And then exhaling, stepping over the toes into a downward facing dog. Breathe here for 5 breaths. Inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Feet to hands. Inhaling to flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands over heart center and down by the side. One more time like this. Inhaling, arms up, gaze up. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, plant the hands. Step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhaling, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. If you're tired at any point here, please bring the knees to the mat and sit the hips back onto the heels for a child's pose, allowing the forehead to meet the mat. And you're welcome to do that at any point throughout this practice. You're welcome to skip the chaturangas, skip the planks, just modify in any way that makes this practice accessible for you. And that includes if you find at any point that you're experiencing pain, in a bad way, just modify or come out of that pose. So just keep a watchful eye on your own body. Do what feels right for you. Breathing, one more breath here. And exhaling, look forward. Step the hands, the feet up to the hands. Inhaling, flat back. And exhaling to fold. Inhale, roll up, rise up. Hands up. And exhaling, hands over heart center and down by the side into Tadasana. So we'll do one sequence of external poses, and then we'll do some neutrals, and then we'll work up to Warrior 3, which will be probably something like our peak pose for today. So coming back to Tadasana, coming back to your center, inhaling, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, plant the hands and step back into a high plank. Just hold in high plank if you want to, or go through your vinyasa and meet us back in downward facing dog. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale, lifting the right leg high. Keeping those hip points pointing down towards the mat. We don't want to open it up like that. Just keeping those hip points both pointing down towards the mat. Inhale here and exhale, bend that knee, bring it through under the belly, using the core, and try to place the foot between the hands. If it doesn't make it all the way up there, just put it where it goes and then scooch it up in between the hands, just like that. So you've got your knee over your ankle, your foot, all 5 toes pointing forward. Now, we'll rotate that back foot, the back left foot, down so that it is about parallel with the back of the mat, pressing into the outer edge of that back foot, opening the arms up into a warrior 2 pose. So in this pose, we'll want to be moving our knee, the bent knee, towards that pinky toe on the right foot. We'll want to be pressing it down into the back outer edge of the left foot. We're engaging the low belly, engaging the hips, allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears, and the gaze is out over our right fingertips of our nice strong arm here. Breathe in your warrior 2 pose. Deep inhale and complete exhale. Going a bit deeper in the knee if you can. 3 more breaths here. Feeling that quad strengthen. Keeping the engagement in the legs, keeping the engagement in the core. Don't forget about it. 1 more breath. Keep those legs strong. Keep them strong. Turning the right palm upwards. Allow the back left hand to fall to the quad here. Inhaling, gaze up. Reverse warrior. Keeping those legs strong. Inhaling here and exhaling. Just 1 more breath here. Inhaling and exhaling, coming back up into warrior 2. Straighten the leg if you need to. Let's just take 1 breath here with the legs straight. Exhaling, bending back into the right leg. Deep inhale. And then exhaling, bringing the right elbow to the right knee. Opening that chest up, opening that chest up. Bring the left arm across the face and out for extended side angle. If this is hard for you, make your stance just a bit shorter. What we really want is the chest to be able to open towards the ceiling to some extent. We don't want anything crunching down. Nice long spine. Breathing into this pose, keeping those legs strong. You can do it. 1 more breath here. On the next inhale, reach up with the left hand. Warrior 2. Inhaling here. Exhaling, spiral those hands down, freeing the right foot. Step back into a plank. Oh man, so happy to be in plank. I love plank, right? Inhale here, head forward. Exhale, low plank, or skip it. We're gonna meet back downward facing dog. Go through your vinyasa. And downward facing dog. 1 deep breath here. And release. On the next inhale, we'll do the other side, lifting up the left leg high. Both hip points pointing towards the ground. Exhale, bringing the knee through between the hands, stabilizing that left foot. All 4 corners of the foot bearing the weight. Turning the right foot open, pressing the outer edge of that right foot into the mat. Finding your balance and opening up into a warrior 2. Whatever length stance works for you, make your adjustments as you need. What we want to be doing is moving that knee towards the left pinky. You should be able to see that big toe. We just don't want the knee to be collapsing in. It's bad for the joint. Engaging the belly. Nice long spine. Shoulders fall away from the ears. Strong arms and gaze over the left hand. Breathing here in warrior two. Deep inhale and exhale. Soft gaze. Allowing the strengthening to happen. On the next inhale, turning upward the palm of the left hand, allowing the right hand to rest on the quad. Inhaling, keeping the legs strong as they are. Gaze up if that is accessible to you. If not, gaze down. It helps with balance. And breathing here in reverse warrior. One more breath. On the next inhale, coming back into warrior two. Exhale, begin to reach forward. Place the left elbow on the left knee. And open up into extended side angle. Oh, I forgot to give you guys a break with the straight leg. Take the break with the straight leg if you need to. If you're feeling strong, continue here in extended side angle. Gaze up, spine is long, chest twisting towards the ceiling. Engaging the rear quad, engaging the left hip. Breathing here in extended side angle. On the next inhale, reaching up with the right arm, coming back into warrior two. One more inhale in warrior two. Yes, feel it in the legs. And exhale, frame the left foot with the hands, step back into the high plank. Hold here, go right back into downward facing dog, or go through your vinyasa and meet us in downward facing dog. We'll breathe here for 5 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling for 1. Inhaling and exhaling for 2. Inhaling and exhaling for 3. Please take your knees to the mat and feet together and child's pose if you need to at any point. This would be a good moment to do that. For 2 more breaths. We're going to be doing another similar flow here, except we'll be including triangle pose. So whenever you're ready, come back into downward facing dog if you were in child's pose. Inhaling the right leg up. You kind of know where we're going now. We're going to do it more breath to movement. Exhaling, bring the knee through. Place the foot between the hands. Scooch it up there if you need to. Spin the back left foot to the mat, pressing into the outer edge. Inhaling back up into warrior two. We're only here for 1 breath this time. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. You can do the half bind if that's in your practice this time, or just allow that left hand to go down the leg. On the next inhale, back up into warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Now begin to reach that right arm. If you have a block, this is a good time to grab one, but you don't need it. So I'll teach with and without the block. Place the block on the inside of the right foot if you do have them. Exhaling, allow that hip to pop back slightly, just to allow the opening to happen in the right leg here. Exhale, reaching forward until you can't anymore. And then tick-tock the arms, right hand down, left arm up for triangle pose. Spine is long, no strain in the spine. The opening should be happening in the right hip. The engagement is in the right hip. You're placing the hand flat on the block if you have one, or if you don't, just glue that right hand to the inside of the right calf. If it's in your practice to go deeper, go ahead and do that. Gazes up if you can, or down if you need help with balance. 1 more breath here, deep inhale, and full exhale. On the next inhale, reaching up through the left hand, open arms, bend the knee into warrior two, inhale. Exhale, spiral the arms down to frame the right foot, pick up the back leg, the back foot rather, step into a high plank, go through your vinyasa, inhaling here, exhaling, low plank, or knees, chest, chin, and inhaling, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right into the other side. Inhaling, left leg high. Exhale, pull it through, step between the hands. Spinning that back right foot to the mat, pushing into the outer edge. Finding your balance, opening warrior two. Inhaling here and exhaling. Inhaling, palm of the left hand up. Allow the right hand down to the quad. Open up, gaze up, reverse warrior. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling back up to warrior two. On the next exhale, straightening that front leg. Lengthening the spine. Exhaling, begin to reach forward as if someone's pulling you by your left hand. Allow the hips to fall back slightly. Opening through the left hip. When you can't reach any further, allow those arms to open up. Right arm up, left arm down to the inside of the calf or on top of your block, or whatever level of this pose you'd like to take to. Gaze up if you're able to do that and balance. Focusing on pressing all the way into the toes and the heels and the balls of the feet. Opening through that left hip. Lengthening the spine on the inhales. Exhaling, opening the chest towards the ceiling more. Head and neck are in alignment with the spine. Breathing. Keeping your eyes focused on your thumb if you can. On the next inhale, reaching the right arm up, opening out. Inhale and exhale, bend into that front knee for warrior two. Another deep breath here. And exhale, frame the left foot. Inhaling, stepping back into a high plank. Go through your vinyasa of choice. Exhaling, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Now stay in the downward facing dog if you would like to, or bring your knees to the mat, toes together, press back into a child's pose. Really pressing the hands into the mat, allowing the hips to sink down towards the heels, lengthening the spine, forehead resting on the mat, and just breathe deeply. Feeling the strengthening that you've got in your legs through those poses. When you're ready, inhaling, coming up, tucking the toes, pressing into the hands, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here, inhaling, look forward. Exhaling, make your way, feet to hands. Inhaling for a flat back. Exhaling to fold. And inhaling, rolling all the way up. Arms up, gaze up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And down by the side. So remain here in Tadasana, just breathe for a moment. We're going to do 2 sun salutation Bs with a modification. I'll be teaching crescent lunge instead of warrior one. If you are a regular yoga practitioner and you'd like to do the warrior one in the sun salutation B, then go right ahead and do that. But for the purposes of this class, I'll just be doing a low crescent lunge or crescent lunge, just to, make it simpler for everybody. So when you're ready, inhaling, arms up, gaze up. Exhaling to fold, bend the knees. Inhaling, flat back, chest forward, head up. Exhaling, fold and plant the hands. Step back into your high plank. Knees, chest, and chin, or lower to chaturanga. Inhaling up, upward facing dog. And exhaling into downward facing dog. From here, inhaling the right leg high. On the exhale, use your momentum in your core to bring that foot through between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. If you know that crescent lunge is challenging for you with balance, please bring your knee to the floor now. On the inhale, place the hands on the knee and arms up once you're ready. Gaze can be forward or down, or gaze can be up for a challenge. If your knee is down, for stability, you can begin to try to lift it here. Just one breath. Exhaling, planting the hands around the right foot, stepping back into a high plank, flow through, and meet in downward facing dog. Breath to movement here. Inhaling, left leg high. Exhale, bring that foot through between the hands. Whatever you did on the right side, repeat on this side. Inhaling up into a low lunge or a crescent lunge. Exhaling, hands to frame the left foot. Stepping back once again, going through your Vinyasa. Or skip it and meet us in downward facing dog. We'll breathe here for 5 breaths. 4, really sinking into your downward facing dog. 2, and 1. Inhaling, look forward. Exhaling, move your feet to your hands. Inhaling, flat back, chest forward. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, roll up, arms up, all the way up. Exhaling, hands to heart center and down by the side. We'll do one more Surya B like that. Inhaling, arms up. Now you know where we're going, so just go breath to movement. Exhaling to fold, bend the knees. Inhaling, lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, low plank, or knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Right into inhaling our right leg high. Exhale, pull it through between the hands. Stabilize the left ball of the foot. Inhale, up, crescent lunge. Both hip points forward. Engaging the belly. Exhale. Hands frame the right foot. Step back, high plank. Hold here and go down to down dog or go through your Vinyasa. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Right into the next inhale, left leg lifts. Exhaling, pull it through between the hands. Inhaling, lift up into a crescent lunge, or whatever your version of this is. Exhaling, hands to frame the left foot. Step back, high plank. Go through your Vinyasa and meet us in downward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhaling here for 5 breaths. Breathing deeply, filling up through the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And exhaling completely. 2 more breaths just like that. Inhaling, belly, ribs, and chest. And exhaling through the mouth if you're starting to feel a little hot. 1 more. From here, we can lift up the right leg once again. Take a break at any point if you need here. Exhaling, foot through between the hands. Placing the knee down. Coming up into a low lunge here. Hand on the front knee. Breathing here for a moment. Really scooching yourself so that you're getting a good hip flexor stretch in this pose. You can keep your 2 toes tucked or flatten the foot. Isometrically pulling the right foot back and left knee forward. Both hips engaged. You can find your blocks here if you have them. Or if you don't have blocks and you know that you might want to try doing Warrior 3, which is a balance. You can find something, a wall to hold on to so that you can stabilize yourself. So on the next inhale here, tucking that back toe and beginning to lift up into a crescent lunge again. Inhaling, arms up, gaze up, if that's accessible to you. If you have blocks, this is a nice time to grab them. Hold them up with your arms. On the exhale, begin to lean forward until you imagine that your arms, your torso, and your back leg are in a perfectly straight line. A strong, straight line. Inhaling here, quad engaged in the back leg. When you are ready, exhaling, begin to place the hands or the blocks down about a foot in front of your right foot. Begin to scooch up onto the back toes and bring the weight into the right foot. When you're ready, you can begin to straighten that right leg. Use the blocks, or if you don't have them, use the floor. You can keep your right knee bent a bit if that's hard. Once the weight is completely in the right foot and a little bit of support here in the hands, begin to bring the left leg up. You can lift it up as high as you want to, engaging that left leg, engaging that left foot. Flex the foot. Toes are pointing all 5 toes. I hope you have more than 4 toes. If not, point all the toes you have towards the floor, engaging that entire lifted leg, engaging the standing leg. If you have blocks, flat hands on the blocks, chest is lifted, back is straight, core is still engaged here. Warrior 3. Breathing in Warrior 3, both hip points pointing down towards the mat. One more inhale. Fullest expression of the pose. Exhale slowly with control. Bring that back foot down to touch, bending the right knee. Come back up, inhaling into crescent lunge. And exhaling, hands to frame the right foot. Step back, go through your vinyasa, or just meet us in down facing dog. Breathing here for 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Inhaling the left leg high. Let's do the other side. Exhaling, bringing it through between the hands. Grabbing your blocks if you've got them. Bringing the knee down to the mat. Unfolding the toes. Whatever you did on the other side, just repeat here. Bringing the hands up to the left knee. Setting yourself up for a good hip flexor stretch here. Both hips are neutral, pointing towards the front. Knees over the ankle. Isometrically pulling that foot backwards and the knee forwards to feel a good stretch in front of the right hip. On the next inhale, arms up. Begin, you can keep your hands on your knee as you lift up into a full crescent pose, or if you want to challenge, you can lift the arms up and do it like this. On the next inhale, lifting up into a full crescent pose. Inhaling here, exhaling, begin to lean forward to lightning bolt. Nice strong pose here. You gotta use your front leg, you gotta use your back leg, and you gotta engage the core. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhaling here, exhaling. Planting the hands about a foot in front of the left foot. Beginning to bring the weight into the left foot here. Dragging the toes. Finding your balance. You can keep that left knee bent a bit if you need to touch the floor. Or use your blocks. Or if you don't need any props, just do the expression of the pose that you're familiar with. Straight back. Pressing into the blocks if you have them. We're pressing into fingertips on the floor. Begin to lift the right leg up, keeping it engaged. Not going higher than you have to. Keeping it low, keeping the belly engaged, keeping both hips pointing downward. Long spine. Flex foot. Breathing here. Feel that nice stretch in the hamstring. Feel the strengthening in the quads. One more deep inhale, fullest expression of the pose. And exhaling gently, coming back into a crescent lunge at your own pace. Good job. Exhaling, bring the hands down to frame the left foot. Stepping back into a high plank, moving through your vinyasa, and meeting us in downward facing dog, and come into child's pose. You deserve it. Forehead to the mat, knees wide. Allow the belly to hang between the knees and just breathe. Letting that stretch sink in. Couple more breaths here. You've survived the hardest part of the sequence, so just beginning to wind down. Let's press into the mat and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhaling into a high plank. It's not completely easy yet, that was sort of a lie. Inhaling here. If this is tough, please bring your knees to the mat because we're going to go into a low plank and then a dolphin pose here. So inhaling in high plank if you're still there, or if you're on your knees, just transition into forearms, forearm plank. The elbows and the hands are completely on the mat, elbows directly under the shoulders, keeping the hips low, gaze is forward. Engaging the belly here, engaging the legs. Inhaling and exhaling, begin to lift the hips and walk the feet towards the elbows for a dolphin pose. If you have tight shoulders or this is just uncomfortable for you, you can clasp the hands, but don't allow those elbows to splay out too far. Keep them shoulder width. Breathing here in dolphin pose, walking the feet in a little bit more if you've got it. Pressing the chest back towards the upper legs. Allowing the head to relax, kind of like a shortened downward facing dog. Tilting the tailbone towards the sky. This is our active inversion for today. Breathing here, allowing the blood to flow where it will. Feeling the opening in the shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling. You can go through a leg lift sequence here if that's in your practice, or if you'd like to do a forearm balance, go ahead and do that. But I will not be instructing that today. One more deep breath here, and exhaling. Inhaling, stepping back into our forearm plank. Inhaling, exhaling, bring knees to the mat, and push back into a child's pose. Breathing here for a couple breaths. When you're ready, push back and up and come to sitting on the knees. So we'll do a couple back bends, we'll do 3 bridges, and then we'll do some twisting and a little bit more core work and hip openers, and then we will be closing for today. So from your seat, slowly make your way to laying on the back. If you have a really thick blanket or pillow around you or a block and you want to do a passive bridge, you are welcome to do that, and I'll instruct that as well. So come to lay on the back, relax the head down, bend the knees, bring the heels in, close to the buttocks. Lay the palms facing downward, lift each shoulder and just tuck the shoulder blade up under the back. Make sure that you have a nice natural curve in the spine and at your neck. Inhaling here. Exhale, flattening the back into the mat. Engaging the core. And on the inhale, press into the mat with the feet. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. Lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Engaging through the quads. Allowing the glutes to be soft and relaxed. The lifting is happening in the quads. Breathing here. On the inhaling, lifting higher if you want to. At this point, you can take your block and put it up under your hips and just rest your hips on them, on this block if you'd like to. And if you want to do that, just take this passive bridge and just hold it here through the other 2 that I will lead. So just remain there if you'd like to do that. And breathe. If you're doing the active bridge, you can begin to walk your shoulders up under and reach towards your feet. or clasp the hands underneath the back. But if you're just here, that's still good as well. One more inhale, pushing even further, hips high. And then exhale, allow the back to flatten down onto the mat again. Allow the knees to fall to the right and the left. Just don't hug them in right away. When you're ready, setting up for the second bridge pose here, keeping the feet stuck to the mat like train tracks. Inhaling and exhaling, flatten the back, low back to the mat. Inhale, press into the feet and lift the hips. Using the quads. Breathing here. 3 more breaths. Going into the fullest expression that you would like to practice today. Chin pointing slightly towards the ceiling to prevent any crunching in the neck. Inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale, reach the hips high. Feel that stretch in the upper back. And exhaling, allow the back to come to rest on the mat once again. Windshield wiper, reset. One more bridge or other back bend if you'd like to practice that today. Inhaling and exhaling. Engage the low belly. Inhale, press into the feet, lifting the hips high. Walk the shoulders under if you'd like to do that. Clasp the hands behind the back. Inhaling and exhaling. Relax the glutes. Engage the quads. Pressing the hips towards the ceiling. Pressing the chest towards the wall behind you. Chin slightly up. One more deep inhale here. Fullest expression of the pose. Exhaling. Bringing the hips down. Pulling the shoulders out from under the back. Windshield wipering. Your knees just to release here. Inhaling and exhaling. Now let's do just a bit of core work here. So remaining on your back, straightening out the legs. You can begin to engage the legs, begin to engage the core by flattening out that curve in the lower back, pressing it all down towards the mat. Toes come to touch if that's comfortable for your back. Beginning to engage the legs as well. Palms down. Inhaling, exhaling, bringing that right knee in towards the chest. Inhaling, exhaling, you can lift the left leg to hover if that's accessible. And you can begin to lift the chest and the head up, reaching the arms forward, fully engaged here. Don't crunch the neck. Inhale here, exhaling, switch the legs. Inhale, exhale, switch the legs. Inhaling, exhale, switch the legs. Going at your own pace. We'll do 5 more on each side. Switch. Keeping engaged. Switch. Reaching those arms. Switch. Inhaling, exhale, switch. Come on, you can do it. I don't know how many more we need. Maybe 4 more. Switch. Inhaling, exhale, switch. 2 more. Exhale, switch. Come on. Switch. 1 more each side. You can do it. Exhale, switch. Inhaling. Fully engaged. Exhale, switch. And release. Hugging the knees into the chest. Roll around a little bit here. Give your back a nice massage. And releasing the feet down to the mat once again. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll just do an easy twist here. So bringing the palms down towards the mat. I like to scoot my hips over to the left a little bit, keeping my knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Scoot my hips over to the left a little bit and allow my knees to fall to the right. You can open your arms up into a T, or you can cactus them if you don't have a whole lot of space. Knees falling to the right, shoulders both remain on the mat, and gaze to the left. If your shoulder wants to come up off the mat, you can take a blanket or a block and just prop it under your right knees here to make it a little bit more comfortable for you and not over twist. Soft breathing here. With every inhale, allowing the spine to lengthen. With every exhale, allowing the twist to sink further. On the next inhale, bringing the knees up and repeating on the other side. Scooting the hips over to the right of it and allowing the knees to fall together to the left. Gaze over the right shoulder. Arms to T or bent at the elbows, cactus. Inhaling and exhaling, sinking into the pose. Breathing. Gaze is soft or eyes closed. On every exhale, allowing the twist to sink deeper. Inhale, and using the core to lift the knees back up, keeping the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Inhaling and exhaling. Begin to bring the right ankle over the left knee here. Or take whatever hip stretch of choice you like, but right ankle over the left knee. And reach with the hands behind the left thigh and start pulling that left thigh towards your chest. If that's not accessible to you, you can take a happy baby or another hip stretch that is easier to you. Pulling that left thigh towards the chest, allowing this right knee to be open at a right angle. If that's not enough of a stretch for you, you can reach through all the way and grab the left shin. Breathing here, trying to keep the spine flat on the floor completely from the tailbone to the neck and head. Allowing this hip stretch to really open up what you just worked. Breathing into the right hip, right glute. Can you pull it a little bit further? Letting it sink. Letting the stretch happen. Next exhale, release. Switch the legs. Shake it out if you need to. Left ankle over right knee. For a 90-degree angle in the left knee here. Reaching through to the right quad. Pulling towards the chest. Or reaching all the way through to the right shin if that's accessible to you. Whatever point you are at, flattening the entire spine to the mat, feeling that stretch in the left glute. Breathing. Don't forget to breathe, even in these slow poses. Pulling a little bit more, sinking into the stretch. When you feel satisfied, releasing that right foot to the mat, uncrossing the ankle, and make your way into your final relaxation pose. Take any extra poses or stretches that you might need to take here. And then finally, come to laying on the back in corpse pose. Allow the feet to fall open if that's comfortable to you. If your low back is hurting, you can keep your knees bent and just allow the knees to lean in towards one another with the feet wide. You can also take Shavasana on your side if that's more comfortable. Cover yourself up, get comfy. If you're on your back like this, allowing the feet to be wide, falling out open, lifting each shoulder, tucking that shoulder blade up under, palms open towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Neck has a natural curve. Allow the eyes to gently close. Let your breath be natural. Feeling your body supported completely by the earth beneath you. Feet and legs completely relaxed, sinking into the mat. The hips and the low back completely relaxed. The belly and the upper back relaxing completely. Allowing the shoulders to sink into the mat, completely relaxed. The upper arms and the lower arms release and relax. The hands, the fingers completely relaxed. The muscles of the neck, the muscles of the scalp relaxing. Release any tension in the face, the eyelids, the mouth. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. The head and neck completely relaxed. The whole body completely relaxed. The natural breath flowing through all the way down to the fingertips, all the way down to the toes on every inhale, washing away anything on the exhales. When you're ready, begin to bring some movement into the fingertips and toes. I welcome you to take your time here, remain in Shavasana if you'd like to, or slowly make your way back up to seated. You're welcome to keep your camera off or turn it back on if you'd like to. Once you've made your way up to a seated pose, easy seat here. Lengthening the spine, tucking the chin slightly, shoulders away from the ears. Face soft or eyes closed. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. The light in me salutes the light in every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.